Alright, so I am out of the cheapest whiskey that I can find. So at this point, I'm having beer. And I'm going to move my camera back a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to give a shout out to gun owners of America who fight for our rights repeatedly by opening this bottle of beer with a genuine bottle opener from them. And I'm not drinking coffee, but I have this coffee mug from FPC. Give them a shout out too. I hope that this is cleaner than it looks, but I know it isn't. But hey, I've had a long and difficult day. Long and hard. Alright, so a coffee mug is not quite large enough to fit an entire bottle of beer in there. That is the scientific experiment that we have ran today. Awfully foamy too. But I've had a particularly long and hard day. It's the middle of the night right now. So I won't be doing any range shooting. At least not today. We'll probably have to end up doing it tomorrow. And whenever I say my day was long and hard, I mean, like, if it was any longer and harder, it would have been a porno. But I've complained about the concussive blast of my M44 Mosin Nagant, you know, very, very repeatedly on this channel. Makes my teeth rattle. I get the Russian equivalent of a dentist appointment every time I fire that thing. And I can feel my teeth just, you know, wanting to fall out of my skull every time I pull the trigger on that. So I went on eBay and bought myself a muzzle compensator for that thing. Not entirely sure how well it's going to work. It says it reduces recoil by up to 70%. So we're going to see how accurate that actually is. So this is nothing real special. It's just a bolt-on muzzle compensator. I imagine if legislation passes to where we can't have threaded-on barrels, then these right here are probably going to become the norm bolt-on, you know, muzzle compensators. All it does, you take off the little fitting right there. Your front sight goes into this hole right here, and then you put the fitting back on, and you have yourself a muzzle brake. I'm going to go ahead and show that off here in a second, but first, let's talk about today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by My Wallet. Yes, My Wallet is probably one of the main things that I use to bring videos to you guys. And unfortunately, with the rise of ammunition and firearms prices, My Wallet is currently emptier than Joe Biden's head. You're more likely to find gun laws that actually work than you are to find non-maxed out credit cards inside of My Wallet. Grabbing a hold of My Wallet will lather your hand in my ass sweat, and that is a My Wallet guaranteed. If you'd like more information on My Wallet, please check the description down nowhere, because this is a fictitious, non-existent sponsorship, and it is me saying, hey, I have no money left. Okay, now that we got the whereabouts, we're going to go ahead and do the whatabouts. So, this right here is a pretty simple concept. All I do is, it even came with a little Allen wrench that I use to do this. I take the little fitting off on the compensator, slide it over the muzzle with the front sighting here, and reattach it. That seems pretty simple and easy. This right here was saying it was just for the M44 and not for the 9130, but I'm fairly positive I could throw this on my 9130 as well. Hell, I could probably throw this on my SKS just for fun, seeing as the bullet diameters for both rifles are the same. If this can survive the muzzle blast for a 54 rimmed, I guarantee it'll survive the muzzle blast from a 7.62x39. At that point, I wonder if the 7.62x39 would even be effective. I'd say loading this thing onto an SKS paratroop rifle would probably be more effective than one of the long barrel versions. I'm fairly certain that even a monkey could attach this. Oh god, I say as I drop my Allen key. Just saying, this is one heavy-duty hunk of steel. Jesus Christ, this is going to add another half a pound to this rifle. Alright, well, we just take this, and she fits very nicely on there. Man, that is snug. That is almost like it was designed for this particular rifle. Alright, now comes the fun part of trying to reattach these things. I can't wait to get this thing out to the range and actually test it out. unfortunately, I have one hell of a headache as it is, and if it doesn't work as well as I'm hoping it does, then it will only make my headache much, much worse. Trying to Allen key with just one hand, it isn't cutting it, so I'm going to have to use two here. Alright, just like that. That looks pretty snug, pretty firm. We're going to go ahead and just tighten her up with a little bit of Allen key leverage there. I don't want to over tighten the thing and, strip something out. So we're just going to get it about that tight. And there we go. Wow, that is a hell of a muzzle compensator on this thing. Now, obviously, with this thing on, I can't extend my bayonet. So if I want to, charge the Germans whenever they start advancing, I'll have to remove the muzzle compensator. That's one of the complaints that I have about this thing. If the Germans start advancing, it's going to take way too long to remove the compensator on this thing. Oh, God. Oh, man. I didn't think that it would add that much weight to the end of this thing, but now that I'm holding it and it's like 2 feet in front of me, there's a significant difference in weight on the front of this thing. But I imagine that we're going to have quite a deal less recoil. So I will take the slight extra weight for the less recoil. Of course, my 9130, since it has a lot more weight on it than the M44, I imagine that it also has, or it would also have significantly less recoil. So if I were to stick this thing onto the 9130, I bet you that'd be like firing a pellet gun. We might check that out too. I'm telling you right now, though, this right here, that's noticeable weight. Not really whenever you're holding it in a non-firing position, but whenever you're holding the rifle up in a firing position, that's noticeable. That is noticeable. Anyway, now we're waiting for daylight, so I'm going to enjoy my beer. Hey, cheers. And I'll also have some food cooking in the microwave, probably being eaten by a roach or something. And I'm going to invite you guys to go ahead and check out Firearms Policy Coalition and Gun Owners of America. Without them, we're screwed. Who else is going to save us? The NRA? Alright, so it's kind of a miserable wet one out today. Rain's on and off, so I'll probably have to make this quick. That's just what happens in Florida. I've decided that if and when what I do ever ends up killing me, all of my firearms, with the exception of a couple of family heirlooms, are going to be auctioned off, and the profit made from that auction will be split up and donated to Gun Owners of America and a Firearms Policy Coalition. Let's go ahead and see if this muzzle brake, this cheap eBay bought Chinese-made muzzle brake, which ironically is on the M44, not a Type 53, flies apart and makes today the day that auction starts. Let's find out. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go for the steel silhouette down there. Let's see just how much nicer this rifle is to shoot with this muzzle compensator on it. Whoa! That is a huge difference. Wow! Let's fire that again. That's almost like nice to shoot. Let's go for, let's see if I can hit that tile out there. I can't remember if the M44 is aim high or not. Let's find out. Nope, that was pretty much spot on. Do you guys see the fireball coming out of the sides of this thing? It's absolutely nuts. I don't have nearly the rise on the rifle that I used to have, and the recoil is damn near non-existent on this thing now. I don't feel my teeth chattering in my skull either, which is a huge improvement on this thing. I did load around it, right? Yeah. Alright, going back for the steel silhouette. The blast is so bright it's almost like someone's taking a picture. Wow, I can't get over that. This gun is it almost sounds louder. I can see my breath. It almost sounds louder than without the muzzle compensator, but at the same time, it doesn't have nearly as much compressive blast coming back onto me, which is kind of what I wanted. Hell, if I end up going hunting with this thing, I didn't want to fire this thing without ear protection, you know, to kill something, without at least some sort of muzzle compensator on it. Okay. Man, this thing is a monster. Well, I mean, it looks okay. It's still standing. I don't see any cracks or chips or anything. Alright, well, as far as I'm concerned, this right here gets one hell of a pass for me. That's a solid thumbs up. Maybe I'll take it, toss on a 9130, and test it out on that. But I know on the M44, huge difference. The recoil is significantly less, and although it does sound louder because the gas is redirected, the amount of concussive blast that I'm subjected to, way less than firing it without this thing. Of course, I wouldn't want somebody standing beside me with this thing because the gas is vented out onto the sides, and you can really see that with the fireball that this thing fires. I really hope that that showed up on camera, because man, that was nuts. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This right here is just kind of a quickie video showing off one of my new pieces of equipment. As I get new equipment, I like showing it off because people who are looking to buy the same equipment oftentimes try to find other people who have already bought it online. Something just moved down here. I don't know what, but it made me uncomfortable. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel to see more. Like the video if you like the video. That definitely helps out with YouTube's anti-gun algorithm. Check in the description. You're going to find my gaming channel where I get drunk and play video games. You're going to find Discord, social medias, things like that. And I'm going to go back inside because I can feel it starting to rain again. It's just going to be one of those days where I'm out and in, out and in. That didn't come out right. Neither did that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.